The ball is recovered by Kansas City's Mike Hughes. He takes it 23 yards to pay dirt.
Hey, Mr. Piggy.
How are you?
Great. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance.
Hey, Shauna.
Hey, Miss Joy, how y'all feeling?
We're slowly coming around, girl. I'm telling you. Low has it down, so it's really not. He's really down for the count.
Oh,
But he's coming around slowly but surely.
okay, great. Those snacks were a hit yesterday. They were gone in an hour.
I'm sure. I watched y'all on the virtual Zoom. I was like, go ahead. You in that pretty dress. I like the fact that she could stick her hands in that jar and pull out that money. I thought she was tickled. How much did she get anyway?
$55.
Beat a blank, I always say.
It seems I think all the big bills were on the side of the money jar.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
How you doing, Miss Joy?
Hey, Terry, welcome.
I'm trying to come back together. Hey, Terry, how are you?
Hey. All right.
It's good to see you.
You too. Is that Mr. Peden?
Yes,
Yeah, that's
ma'am.
Mr. Pete.
Hey, Mr. Peden.
See you. Glad to have you on as always, Terry.
You too,
Welcome.
sir.
Yes. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Belinda.
Belinda, welcome to the call.
Good evening.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Pete, if you want to make the calls, I can bring everybody in for you, if that's all right.
Hey, Joy. Thank you. Hey, Cindy, glad to have you on. I can see you out there. Can't
Hello.
sneak on without. Glad to see you. Awesome.
Hi, Russell. How's the world treating you?
Hey, Wendy, life is good here in Mexico. Can't complain. Beautiful weather, beautiful people. Life is amazing.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Wow.
it's great. No complaints. Doesn't feel like Christmas though. It's a little too hot to be Christmas. 74 is like 77
Yeah.
degrees today. All right,
See
everybody.
any snow
7.
there?
What's that?
See any snow there? I doubt.
No, not here. We actually have to drive to go see snow. We're gonna head up to the mountains after Christmas to hopefully go see some snow a couple days after Christmas. But there's not any places. Actually, there's only one place in Mexico that Carol says that actually snows, and they manufacture their own snow. That's how crazy it is.
Oh
And,
my. Okay.
yeah. Hey guys, welcome. I got 7 o'clock East Central Time. That means it's 8 o'clock Eastern Time. It's time for our Sunday night Team Builders Training Call. My name is Russell Pete. It's my pleasure to be your host tonight, along with the rest of our Executive Director Leadership Team. We're gonna have a great call for you tonight. Pick it up where we left off last week. But before we get into the call and our bright spots, let's get into our meet and greet. Let's find out who's on the call. Our roll call. As you come into the call, if you haven't already done so, give us your name and where you call in from.
Stacy and Larry Martin from Suffolk, Virginia.
Hey, Stacy, good to see you. Glad to have you on the call as always.
Thank
Lowell
you.
and Joy out of Norfolk, Virginia.
Yes, she is. Glad you guys are feeling
Arnisha, Ohio.
Hey, Arnisha, glad to have you on as always.
Belinda Gaines,
Terry Allen,
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Hey, Terry, Belinda, got you. Did you say Kentucky? Or who is that? Somebody from Kentucky.
Yes, Radcliffe, Kentucky.
All right, Belinda. Okay, I thought I saw it in Kentucky somewhere. I don't know where I saw it. It was online, Facebook or something. But welcome, Belinda. Glad to have you on the call as always. Who else is out there, guys? Come on.
Renee Phillips from Atlanta, Georgia.
Who's that from Georgia?
Renee Phillips.
Hey, Renee, welcome to the call. Glad to have you on the call. Glad to have you on tonight. Who else is out there?
This is Octavia Thomas, Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey, another Kentucky person. Hey, Octavia, glad to have you on the call as always. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Smiling face. All right, guys. Anybody else out there? As you come under the call, give us your name, where you're calling in from. We got about 3 more minutes of roll call before we get into our bright spots and then into our announcements and into our training tonight, which is going to be phenomenal if I do say so myself. Not because I'm doing it. I'm actually partner with a lot of the leaders tonight, but it's going to be a great training. But take this moment. You got a couple more minutes before we get into our bright spots to send out a quick text message or make a quick phone call to your teammates. Don't assume because you remembered top one of the call tonight that they're going to remember or that they even know about the call. Send a text message, remind them about our team training call tonight. So let's do that right now. That way you can get them on the call. That way they get the information firsthand, just like you do, instead of you trying to relay the information to them that you heard on tonight's call, which is a little more difficult. Of course, they can listen to the replay that we post every week, but especially they get on the call. That way they can get it directly, get the information, ask questions, make comments, share their own story, their own successes, whatever. But get them on the call. Take this minute and take control, be a leader of your own team. Make sure that your folks are on the call tonight. It don't take you a second to send a text message or make a phone call. All right, guys, as you come into the call, if you haven't already done so, give us your name and where you're calling in from.
Good evening, Bernadette Jackson, Killeen, Texas.
Hey, Bernadette, I see you out there.
All right.
And Russell, Cindy from Atlanta.
Oh, there's Cindy Marvin. Glad to have you on. Cindy's not a call without you. Welcome. Who else is out there, guys?
Evan Hughes, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Hey, Evan, glad to have you on the call, sir. Always good to see you. That's everybody. Keep it coming, guys. If you haven't already done so, give us your name, where you're calling in from.
Happy Sunday, family. Shauna here. Good to see you guys.
Hey, Shauna, glad to have you on the call as always. She's our team cheerleader. Glad to have you on, Shauna. All right, guys, again, send out a moment, guys. We're kind of light this morning at 4 minutes after the hour. Send out a quick text message, remind your team. Did someone put it in the group me? I didn't even see it come through tonight. Did someone do that? The reminder in the group me chat? I know Shauna made
Yeah, I did it about 20 minutes ago.
Thanks, Shauna. Thank you for doing that.
Another reminder.
Appreciate that.
Hey, Mr. P, you got some folks coming through the line.
Say it again, Joy.
I see you got some folks coming through. Mr. Kathy just came in, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, I don't see anybody in the waiting room. I guess I got you and Shauna and Cindy all as co-hosts that they must be clicking them in faster than I can see.
Yeah, I'm clicking. I've been clicking in pretty quick.
I don't see anybody else in the waiting room right now, but good stuff, guys. If you haven't already done so, guys, give us your name, where you're calling in from. Take this last minute or so to send out a reminder text or make a quick phone call while you're on the call to your teammates. Make sure they're on tonight's call. It's going to be a good one. As we close out the last few weeks of 2021, believe it or not, just seems like yesterday we were just starting the year talking about Performers Club and our goals for 2021. And here we are winding up the year. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So I see there's other folks in the waiting room. Thanks, guys, for letting them in. With that said, guys, it's time to get into my favorite part of the call tonight. Y'all look better. I got some new lights tonight, taking a page out of Mr. Dazzy's playbook. I got me some, invested in some new lights in my office, and hopefully you don't see all the shadows and all that stuff that we normally see. But anyway, let's get into it tonight. My favorite part of the call is called our bright spots. If you're new to the team, or if this is your first time on the call, this part of the call is what we dedicate to you, recognizing you, our fellow team prosperity partners, for the great job you're doing. We protect and empower families, and we recruit other people to teach them how to protect and empower families. That's all we do in a nutshell. Now, many of you are doing a great job out there protecting families with our services and recruiting others. We want to recognize you for the great job you're doing and allow you to recognize yourself, because there's nothing wrong with recognizing yourself, because if you don't recognize yourself, guess what? Ain't nobody else going to recognize you. That's my life philosophy. If you don't get enough recognition, you should recognize yourself. Make sure that you recognize yourself for the great job you're doing. And you say, well, I'm not doing anything great. Well, if you protected a family, that's amazing. you changed someone's life. You made a difference in someone's life. If you recruited someone, not only did you protect them and empower them, but you also give them an opportunity to make a difference in somebody else's life, which is a great thing as well. And maybe you rank advance, maybe you fast start qualifying like many of you have been doing these last few weeks, last few months, and maybe you moved to manager or senior manager, or director, or something like that. All these are great achievement. And we want to recognize you and allow you to recognize yourself and your teammates for the great job they're doing. Just a phenomenal opportunity. This is my favorite part of the call. I would do the whole call of recognition if the leaders would allow me, but you guys would. But I think recognition is everything. They say men die for it, babies cry for it. I believe that people who say, I don't need recognition, just send me the check or call me the janitor, those are the ones who need it the most. So I believe in celebrating all wins, all levels of success. So who wants to kick things off tonight? Who's got something exciting they want to share about themselves, their team? Who wants to go first?
I'll go, Mr. Pete.
Hey, go for it. That's what leaders do.
Yes, sir. I wanted to shout out James Tyson for protecting the family. He went mad, and Trish Blackwell, who protected 2 families, who's on Marsha Blackwell's team as well. And definitely can't leave Stacy and Larry Martin out. They did a small business plus plan with a trial defense and a combo individual plan. So, definitely kicking ass and taking names.
That's APPS, by the way, for those of you that be listening. Yes. Audio may not be so good. That's APPS. Congratulations to everybody. James Tyson, way to protect families, make a difference, as I was talking about earlier. Of course, the amazing Stacy Martin and Larry Martin, always kicking apps and taking names. Congratulations to all of them. I'm sure I missed somebody there, but thanks for sharing, Linda. Appreciate that. Who else has got something exciting want to share?
Yeah, Mr.
Russell,
Pete,
Cindy.
This is Joy Goodman.
Go ahead,
and
Joy.
Lola and I, we protected individual family with a combo plan, and we got our mad streak out the way.
Good stuff. That's what we do. First week of the month, get mad. That's what we're talking about. All right, Stacy Martin, you were trying to jump in there. I mean, Cindy Martin. I keep saying
Cindy, it's okay, Marvin. Yeah,
I
know, and we're the same age,
ladies. It's Cindy Marvin. You kind of tried to go ahead.
I just wanted to congratulate Renee Phillips. This is the first training call she's been on. She's one of my new associates as of last week. And thanks to Shauna and Linda T for doing a great job Friday night. Renee was on and got a lot out of it and really liked their story. So congratulations, Renee, and look forward to working with you.
That's
and you
awesome.
have this
Renee,
whole team to help.
Well, welcome to the team. Welcome to our Legal Shield family. Renee, we're so glad to have you here, Team Prosperity Partners. And let me tell you, you could do a whole lot worse than having Cindy Marvin as your business partner to lead you to the promised land, so to speak, of Legal Shield. And so we're so glad to have you. We want to welcome you with a big hug into our family. We're here to lock arms with you and help you achieve whatever level of success you desire and are willing to work for. So glad to have you on the call tonight. Thanks for sharing, Cindy. All right, who else has got something exciting want to share?
All right, Mr. Pete, now jump in there.
Hey, Tillis made it. She sent me a text that she may not make it in time for the recognition, but she did. There she is, our next platinum executive director, 6-figure ring earner, Wonder Woman herself, Miss Tillis Aloze. Go ahead, Tillis.
Oh, thank you for that, sir. I'm out and about. You know how it is this time of the year, but I could not miss this call, so I'm in the car, guys. Right. But I wanted to recognize Erica Rowe because she protected, I think, at least 3 small businesses. This week. She's got at least triple probably PC Pro already. Wow. But that's her goal, that's her passion. And Linda already recognized her team. And so I always have to recognize Miss Linda T because she's so consistent. She's always moving and shaking. And despite whatever is going on in her personal life, you never know. She still is on the call. She's still consistent. She's still helping her team. And I just appreciate her so very much. So back over to you, sir.
Well, thanks, Tillis, and we appreciate you hopping on the call. That's what leaders do. If we have life going on, just like everybody else, but we got to be on that Sunday call. That's called commitment. And once it becomes a habit, guys, then you got to make the commitment. But then once it becomes a habit, then you just you'll be like Tillis. You'll just miss the call. Man, I got to be on the call. And she texts us like an hour or so ago saying, hey, I may be a little late, but leaders, that's what leaders do. They get on the call. But Tillis, thanks for sharing. Congratulations again to Erica Rowe. I don't think Erica's on tonight, but I saw in the group chat that she was out there kicking apps and taking names when it comes to protecting small businesses. That is her focus because she's a small business owner herself, traditional But, and of course, the amazing.
Oh my
leaders.
gosh, Mr. Pete, and I cannot not recognize Melissa. Melissa has been in the hospital with surgery, but she protected a family, 2 families, and actually brought in a new associate while in the hospital. So I got to recognize her.
That's Melissa Cordigate, guys, AKA Miss K. And well, I can't, well, she's not on the call. She'll probably hop on if I know Melissa, but because she wants to recognize herself and the great job she's doing. But thanks for sharing that, Taylor. That's what I'm talking about, guys. And that's a common story. You know, a lot of amazing leaders in leadership, they don't say, oh, I'm in the hospital, I'm not going to talk to anybody, I can't do anything. They don't miss an opportunity to share our amazing services with people that they come in contact with, the 3-foot rule, if you will. And knowing that the next person they talk to could be the one they've been looking for. And that's what it's all about. We're going to talk about that today as well. All right, guys, who else has got something exciting they want to share before we get into our announcements tonight?
Mr. Pete, I'll chime in.
Go
I
ahead,
want to
Sean.
shout out the match 3 qualifiers so far for this month. Mr. Brian Cobb with a combo plan. Nicole as well protected a family. I myself got 2 business plans and 2 personal plans in this week.
You know, guys, I got to
the clock isn't over, so I'm waiting for that PC.
Shut up. I'm sorry, Sean. I thought I muted you out, but I didn't, but you're a co-host, but I'm sorry. But we got a lot of background noise. So I had to mute out all the lines except for our co-hosts there in our EDs who can unmute their lines. Sean, you got to unmute your line again. If you can just share the last little bit you said, because your line got muted.
Oh yeah, I said I'm still going in for that recruit for the bonus that ends tonight. It's already got, I think I've done triple pre-C myself. So looking for that recruit tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Good stuff. Well, you know, some of us were lucky enough to have enough overage from last month's Performance Club. I was PC, I was almost triple PC Pro last month, but definitely double PC Pro. So I had 100 points carry over to this month. So I was already Performance Club qualified day 1 and just about 20 shy, unless this lady comes through like she says she's going to do tonight. Now I might hit it by tonight, but I don't have my one recruit yet either. But I'm glad to see that you're out there getting for it like others as well, Shauna. All right, guys, anybody else? We got time for about 1 or 2 more bright spots. Who else got something exciting want to share? Nobody? Oh, the lines, you might be talking to yourself, guys. Be sure to unmute your line. Hit the little microphone icon if you're trying to talk. I know you might be saying, Mr. Pete, Mr. Pete, Mr. Pete, but if you're muted, I can't hear you. All right, there's Mr. Tazzy.
Hey, Mr. Pete.
Hey, there you go, lady. You know, a little birdie said that you're in a hospital recruiting and protecting families. Is that true?
I was.
You were. You back home now?
I am back home. Thank you very much.
You're going to get your PC qualification. You're going to get your mastery done, even if you're in the hospital. Isn't that right?
Yeah, well, you know, that's how it goes.
Wherever there's people, right? Somebody.
Diane Klein said, don't be in no hurry. Talk to everybody.
That's right. That's exactly right. And she's a millionaire club member many times over, multiple 6-figure ringer, and she might be somebody to take some advice from. Well, congratulations again, Melissa, on a great week of crushing your Performance Club, even while you're in the hospital. That's good stuff. Always leading by example. Good stuff. Appreciate you. All right. Anybody else? Last call for bright spots. Otherwise, we're going to get right into our announcements, and then we're going to get into our training tonight. Anybody else? No more bright spots? Again, unmute your line if you're trying to chime in. Maybe I can't hear you because I got all the lines muted. Hit the little microphone icon, open up your mic if you're trying to share. Anybody else? Last call for bright spots. All right. Good stuff. With that said, guys, I'm going to move. I see Mr. Dazzy just joined us, and I may be catching him off guard, but he's a total professional. Mr. Dazzy, glad to have you back, sir. I know you and your wife had an amazing couple of weeks vacationing, and glad to have you back. So we missed you here on the call. And I know last week the company kicked off. We're only 12 days into this month. They announced this amazing 12 days of Christmas promotion this month. And anything else you want to share in terms of announcements, sir?
Oh, well, absolutely, sir. And thank you so much. Obviously, look, we've got the 12 days of Christmas that goes all the way through, the 12th of December, which is tonight. And so, we still have some time to get some things done. But of course, we understand, look, you get $100 in premium, recruit one person, you get an extra $100 paid to you. Why not get the extras for Christmas season? What could you do with the little extra, right? We all like the little extra. If you go out there and you do 150 in premium and recruit 2 people, then you get $150, giving to you here. And then of course, if you do $200 in premium and recruit 2 people, then of course, you'll get a $300 bonus, but your name is also put into the wheel. And Don Thompson himself is actually spinning this wheel, and they're giving away Xboxes, they're giving away trips to Maui, Hawaii, they're giving away laptops, you name it, they're giving it away. And so, I mean, it's just this is the time for giving, right? And the company is really looking to give away some things that they have, and so you want to make sure that you get that done. So don't say to yourself, "Oh, it's the 12th of the month," and so I missed out. No, we still have a few hours to get some things done.
Still have 4 hours and 43 minutes left because actually they're going to midnight on this promotion. Normally at the end of the month cutoff is 11:59 p.m. But tonight you have until midnight tonight to get either $100 in premium in a new recruit, $150 in premium in a new recruit, or 2 recruits and $200 in premium, and an opportunity to pick up some additional cash. And for those of you that recruit too, some of you, this is why it's so important to be on the calls and know, or at least check your back office and know what's going on in terms of these incentives and promotions, because you could be 2 recruits in and didn't even know about this promotion. And all you need is maybe $50 more in premium, and you have an opportunity to win a trip to Maui, win a MacBook Pro, laptop computer, or a Surface Pro, or $500 Amazon gift card, which will certainly be helpful this time of year as we start the Christmas shopping or continue our Christmas shopping. But you got to know, and that's another reason again to be on the calls. And as I said earlier at the beginning of the call, doing the roll call, to take a minute to get your folks on the call, because you might have someone who needs to hear this information or might already be on their way. Like Renee's brand new. She just came on board a couple of days ago. And Renee, you could find yourself qualifying for one of these promotions as well, especially with Cindy Marvin's help. So that's it for me, Ms. I don't think I have any other corporate announcements to share today. Obviously, we can't ever let a call go without talking about our upcoming international convention, which you and I are calling the 50th anniversary celebration. It's going to be, guys, it was just a couple months ago. It was 6 months away. Here we are about 4 months, well, not even 4, but just a little over 3.5 months away. It's coming fast. And you got to make sure you're registered for it. I had a good friend of mine he sent me a text, he says, man, he says, I was at the 40th. This is an old associate, hasn't done anything in a while. And he's just out of the blue, came back, said, Mr. Pete, I saw that Legal Shield celebrating their 50th anniversary in Oklahoma City. He says, I was at the 40th anniversary years ago. I want to make sure I'm at the 50th. I said, what a great time to come back. So anyway, guys, this is going to be a huge event. We could talk all night about it, Mr. Dazzy and I and other leaders on the call, but just know that this is our 50th anniversary. 50 years ago, our founders, Harlan and Shirley Stonecipher, sat down at their kitchen table with this idea of what if we could make access to the justice system available to people who look like us, just regular, everyday, average people. Because the top 10% of our country have the money to take care of unexpected legal problems. The bottom 10% get access for free or at a reduced rate. But the 80% in the middle, all of us, our friends and family, are literally squeezed out of the legal system because we make too much money to qualify for free legal services, but not enough money to be able to afford an attorney when we need one. And that was the whole basis of this idea that they had. Keep in mind, guys, there was no such thing as a prepaid legal plan or a legal expense plan or anything like what Mr. and Mrs. Stonecipher thought of 50 years ago. But in fact, when they started the company, they had to start as a motor club. It was called Sportsman's Motor Club of Oklahoma because there was nothing like it. There was no laws or regulated company like the one that they were creating. And of course, years later, they were able to get it. They were vital to getting some laws passed, allowed them to change the name to prepaid legal services. And here we are 50 years later, protecting over nearly 5 million lives, hundreds of thousands of associates all over the country, part of the crusade, and you get to be a part of history. This company that was started by, it's just not one of those American success stories, started by a couple on their kitchen table, today is affecting the lives of millions of people because you decided to partner with the company and make a difference in someone's lives. So it's just going to be a huge event. I know for a fact they're pulling out all the stops We're right back in Oklahoma City, which is where our company is based in Oklahoma. And I know that the governor, all the dignitaries in the state are going to be there. I think others are going to be coming in as well to celebrate one of the largest employers in the state. You know, Legal Shield is the largest employer in southeastern Oklahoma. And they were Mr. and Ms. Stonesife for icons in the state of Oklahoma, you know, dignitaries, you know, great benefactors and donors and givers, and not to mention what they did to the Oklahoma economy is amazing as well. So it's going to be a big event. All the superstars in Legal Shield are going to be there. And you might say, well, I don't need to go to these big events to make $10,000 a month. You're exactly right. But everyone in Legal Shield who makes at least $10,000 a month will be at this event. That should be a clue to you. You can go there. And I don't want to talk so much about the content. Mr. Dazzy might do a good job of that. But, you know, I like to focus on the context of the event. You know, what will happen to you when you attend an event like this, especially this celebration event? It will have a huge effect on you because just the energy, the synergy of being with predictably 10 or 15, potentially 20,000 people all in one arena. The company, now we're in a whole new venue this time. They built a whole new venue right next to the one that we used to be in. And that's what we're going to be in because we're expecting a huge turnout. It's just going to be unbelievable. I always envision this. Imagine 15,000 flashlights all pointing in the exact same direction. How powerful a beam of light that would be. That's what all of us are going to be there, all focused with one common goal of making equal justice a reality and financial independence a reality for those that want it. That's what's coming, and that's what it's all about. Mr. Dazzy, anything else you want to share?
No, I tell you, you know, just I'm listening to you and I'm like, wow, man, I can't wait to be there. I can tell you this is going to be such a huge event that like all of the corporate staff has already flown there twice already from what I've known. Twice. Yeah, the executive team, because, you know, we have our MVP meetings every week, and on 2 different occasions in the last 6 weeks, the whole entire executive staff has been there. So I know it's going to be special. I know it's going to be unprecedented. I know it's going to be an amazing event. You just want to make sure that you're a part of history. You want to make sure that you're there. You want to make sure that you have your teammates there. You want to make sure that you come ready to go, because I'm telling you, this event will blow your mind and will help you take your business to the next stratosphere. So that's all I'm going to say on that one. Get registered.
Hey, get registered. And you know, right now, I don't know if the registration is probably $100, $150 or something like that, but our team, many leaders in our team have took the time knowing they're going to have a great turnout for their team there, have already pre-purchased tickets, registration tickets for this event at bundle pricing. So you can get registered right now for about $50, which is the 50th anniversary. So reach up, if you want to go, reach up to your sponsor upline leader. There's someone on our team who's got a registration ready for you for at least, I think as low as $50, maybe a little bit more, but I think we got lots of $50 tickets out there that you can go. So be there. You know, someone asked me one time, they said, Mr. Pete, what's the one thing I could do to guarantee success in my business, or to take my business to the next level, I guess is the question they asked. And I'd say attend a corporate event, our international convention. It's like this, we say it every time, it's the Super Bowl of Legal Shield, you know, and that's the one thing. It'll literally put you 6 months. It's like getting a head start in a race, 6 months ahead in your business to where you would be if you didn't attend the event. Now you go, how is that possible? The content, the training, every platinum millionaire club member, all of the best of the best will be teaching and training from stage, pouring directly into you on how they were able to achieve, you know, 6-figure incomes, 7-figure incomes, some of them, and build these amazing teams and affect the lives of millions of people. You're going to be able to learn directly from the people who are doing it. And but then you're going to be in an environment of success where people who are all like you, looking to have more, be more, and do more. To me, I think the context, the synergy of the event has a bigger effect on you than the content, because as we've talked about in our call here, you know, it's you know, that the how is simple. Even though we think we need more how, it's the why. I mean, I think it's 90% why and 10% how. We could teach the how in just a couple of hours in the training, but what's gonna make you continue to do the business where you don't feel like, what's gonna make you do the business anyway when you feel like quitting? What's gonna make you keep going? And that's going to come from that. You're going to get that from the being around, you know, tens of thousands of other excited, focused entrepreneurs like yourself. So borrow our belief, as we said last week on the call, Mr. Valines and myself, borrow our belief in that this event could potentially change your life, certainly could change your business, and as a result, it could end up changing your life like it has mine and so many other leaders on this call tonight. All right, so that's it.
One more thing, Mr. Eden.
Go ahead.
I'd be remiss if we let Maui, Hawaii go out the window. You know, it's so funny, you know. They put this incentive on the table just a couple months ago, and you know we were all excited about it, but sometimes we don't talk about it all the way. But you know, hey, don't forget the next all expense paid vacation for Legal Shield 2022 is to Maui, Hawaii. Imagine the company paying for the airfare for two, the hotel, your meals, everything, and you're in paradise. You're going to Maui. You know, they're taking care of everything. Look, keep your eye on the prize. There's so many people right now who have probably forgotten about Maui. They're not thinking about it. They're not focused about it. And this is where you can really put yourself in a position where you can find yourself right on the top of the leadership boards or leaderboards, simply because people took their eye off the prize, right? It's easy when you know, they're like, on your marks, get set, go. But the thing is, how long can you continue to sustain it and keep your eye on the prize? People forget about it. And, you know, it's interesting, Mr. Speeding, because people count themselves out like all the time. And truth be told, you know, anyone can go on this trip if they decide that they want to. They just got to make a decision and be consistent and persistent with their, you know, their production and activities. And they'll find themselves right there on the trip. Right, Mr. Speeding?
But there are people on this call tonight, I'm the Stacy Martins, the Linda Texier, people are leaders on this call tonight who found themselves earning, I would say winning, because they didn't win it, they earned it, an all expense paid luxury vacation. And I'm sure Stacy Martin will tell you that she didn't think she was doing anything phenomenal, but you know what, by being consistent and persistent and protecting and empowering families and recruiting others and helping them protect and empower families, she and her husband Larry found themselves on this amazing vacation to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico this past summer. Same thing with Linda Texera and many others. And obviously we're just talking about our team because those wasn't really focused on, but there are dozens of other stories just like that. People who just got out there just doing what we do, contacting and inviting, introducing and exposing people to the Legal Shield concept, following through. And then, man, because they're just doing the activity, earning a few dollars here, a few dollars there on the side of their little part-time business, they found themselves on an amazing vacation. So yeah, we don't want to forget about Maui. It's going to be here before you know it as well. You got all the way up until what, the end of March or April 1st, Mr. Daz, you to qualify? I forget the deadline. February 28th. The day before my birthday, March 1st, by the way. Just y'all remember, Mr. P's birthday is March 1st. It's a national holiday. I tell everybody they can have to take a day off of work on my birthday. I give you that opportunity. I give you that right. You said, Mr. P told me I could. So anyway, but February 28th is the deadline. That's going to be here before you know it. And the qualifications are out there, guys. Go to LS Engage, find out what you need to do to find yourself on that leaderboard going to Maui. And you can easily find yourself, you know, Mr. Dazzy, I was looking, you know, you and I are all constantly looking at that leaderboard, you know, every week. They're updated every couple of days for a while. You and I both know. And then they switched to updating weekly. Then I don't know if you noticed last week, they went a couple weeks and they didn't update it. I'm like, man, what's up? You know, I kept saying that. Every time I pull it up, it's still at number 31. Put it up again, still at number 31. I know you were doing the same thing. Refresh. But, and then I looked at, man, whoa, I fell down several slots. I know you probably fell. Yeah. I got to give up.
Hey, I'm on vacation. I'm like, whoa. I better get my butt to work. I won't be on vacation.
Exactly. You're going to be on vacation. So anyway, that's just Mr. Dan, little inside joke. He and I, we're both gunning for that trip and always hold each other accountable. But anyway, man, but to talk about setting a goal to go on this trip, let's talk about goals. You know, I kind of started talking about goals last week with sharing it with you from Richard Branson's company website, the Virgin Group, 7 simple steps to achieve your goals. I said, instead of talking about how to set goals and the importance of goals, because I know your jobs are talking about goals right now, or maybe that's part of what you do all the time, especially as we get closer to the end of the year and start of the new year, everyone's talking about goals, planners and everything, all this stuff and weight loss goals and all this stuff. I said, let's talk about some simple steps to achieving goals. And, you know, that was, I think number 1 was they had to be written down. I won't go through them all again because you can listen to the replay from last week, but I shared last week 7 simple steps to achieving your goals. But tonight, what I want to do, and we're going to talk about goals for the next few weeks as we close out this year, because I know how important it is to your life and your business. I'm speaking from experience. That's what I want to share with you guys tonight. I want to sell you on goal setting tonight. I'm not going to talk about, I don't want to waste the time, and I don't think it's a waste, but I couldn't think of a better word, the time on the call to talk about how to set goals. I can point you in the right direction. Brian Tracy has a great book called Goals. And if you want it, if you don't want to buy it, I can send you a digital copy of it. I'm obviously, I always say every week, you can find just about any book on audio for free on YouTube, because people have taken the books and uploaded them illegally to YouTube, but you can go there and listen. It's not illegal to listen to them. It's illegal to upload it without permission. But anyway, that's on you if you want to listen to them. But anyway, guys, so I can point you in the right direction for goal setting. Talk to your upline leaders, your upline executive directors, all of them are goal setters, and they can point you in the direction of what they did to set their goals. I listened to a recording of one of my mentors, Jim Rohn. He did an event called the Weekend Seminar, and since it was done live, we listened to the goal setting segment of that live event. And Mrs. Pete and I in real time, and just did what he asked and directed people to do at the weekend. That was our first real goal setting session. And I think I've told this story many times in the call, but again, we've got a lot of new folks in the call. Our goal that year, to that point, the most we'd earned in Legal Shield was about $30,000. I think $29,000 and some change. Our first year, $7,700. Our second year, $15,800. Our third year, $29,800. I think is exactly what. Just right around $30,000. So we were doing well. We doubled our income basically for 3 years in a row. Second year, third year, but as life would have it, one of the couples that we recruited on our team. Now we weren't even executive directors yet, guys. And we made direct manager within 6 months, director our 10th month. So our second year, we were director earning $15,000. Our third year, we were directors earning about $30,000. But then this couple that we recruited our first year, one of our first real runners, they ended up qualifying for executive director before we did. Now, as great as that is, you're supposed to say, oh, congratulations. It sucks when someone on your team achieves level before you do. And for those guys on the team, you know what I'm talking about. When your wife looks, you're like, man, you ain't nothing. You let them qualify before we did. You ain't nothing. The guys, I'm talking, if you're married, if you got a significant other, you know what I'm talking about, when they give you that look and they say something to you like, you know what? Anyway, so needless to say, I had to figure out a way to make a difference. And I couldn't just go executive director because they're already going ED. Of course, that means we'd be bronze. But long story short, we decided, you know what? We have done everything that our mentors, Woody and Fran Alexander, who I talk about every week on this call, had told us to do. We thought, man, we've followed every example. We've done everything they asked us to do. And what we realized is the one thing we hadn't done that Woody and Fran, or Woody specifically, had always told us to do. For months, every month for 3 years, we heard him talk about how important it was to have goals and how they need to be written down. And then after you have your goals written down, you got to create a plan. And I would even tell my team, you got to have goals. They need to be written down. You got to have a plan. I'm telling everybody, but I'm not even doing it. So we finally decided to sit down. I remember it was New Year's Eve, 2005. And we listened to this. I knew that we had listened to that audio series before, that cassette series, I should say, from Jim Rohn, the Weekend Seminar. We sat down and we listened to that segment on goals, and we wrote down our goals. And although those about goals in our area of your life, we were primarily focused on a goal. And we decided that we were going to earn $100,000 in 1996. Now, at the time in Legal Shield, you could count the number of $600,000 plus income earners on one hand, maybe two, not many at all, not the hundreds like we have now, or thousands that we have now. But, and so, because we thought that's a big goal and we might as well go for it. If you're going to set a goal, set a big goal. Anyway, to make this story short, guys. So we thought $10,000 a month, that's our goal. That's $120,000 a year. Our goal is make 100 grand. So what our mentors, Woody and Fran, said, hey, we sat down, put our goals on paper, and our Legal Shield goal, our prepaid legal goal at the time, was to make $100,000. So I said, Woody, so what's the plan to make $100,000? Woody says, there's no plan. I'm like, what do you mean there's no plan? He's like, you just have to have a plan. There's no such thing as the $100,000 plan. He said, you just have to have a plan to earn $100,000. You might have to adjust as you go. He says, so that he's always taught you guys, just, use the 80-20 rule as a good start. Now, the 80-20 rule means that is what I always tell you guys here in the call. Not about 20% of the people that you talk to will take a look. About 20% of the people who take a look will join. About 20% of the ones that join are going to work. 20% of those can become your leaders. 20% of those can become your superstars. So he says, just work it backwards. At the time, we had that one executive director couple. We had one really solid line, so we needed 2 more. So in order to get 2 more leaders, how many people do we have to recruit? Well, 2 is 20% of what? I'm not gonna ask you to answer because you might say 5, 10, 20, 100, it's 10. So we had to have 10 runners to have 2 new leaders. So how many people do you need to have recruited to get 10 people to work? 20%, right? I mean, there's no magic number, but if you're going by 20%, in order to find 10 workers, you got to recruit 50 people. So that was our goal. If we recruit 50 people, that should give us about 10 or so workers. And out of those 10 or so workers should emerge at least 2 new leaders that we can take to that will go to director. And that's basically what we did. So our goal was to recruit 50 people in 1996. And so we just sat down. We said, well, we divided it by the number of weeks. It's about one new recruit a week. But we had to take out, a week for Christmas, whatever, Thanksgiving with my family, Christmas with Carol's family. So our goal was to recruit 1 person a week. Now, how do you recruit 1 person a week? Well, first, you got to know what your ratio is, right? How many people do you need to talk to, or presentation you need to give to get 1 person to join? So at that point in my business, since I was primarily the one recruiting, I knew if I talked to 5 people a day, I didn't count the weekends because I would spend that time with Carol, or unless we were doing a Super Saturday or something like that. But I knew if I talked to 5 new people a day, about half, that would give me 25 people a week, 5 people a day, Monday through Friday. Half of them would actually set the appointment with me because there was no Zoom back then, right? There was no videos to send back then, right? There was no websites. This was all sitting down with someone and giving the presentation face to face. So I discovered, because I'd been prospecting for 3 years that time, I knew that I was about a 20%. If I can get make 5 new contacts a day, 25 a week, half of them would set an appointment with me. But check this out. Half of those, that's about 12 or 13 would actually set an appointment with me. Half of those would actually show up to the appointment. I spent many a day in a Denny's restaurant waiting on the prospect to show up to a sit-down appointment. So half people that would set an appointment would actually would show up, and half people that showed up would sign up. So I ended up selling 2 or 3 memberships a week and recruiting 1 or 2 associates a week. Now, some weeks I didn't recruit anybody. And some weeks I didn't sell any membership, but some weeks I recruit 2 or 3 and sell 4 or 5 memberships. But I just was consistent and make. I said, as long as I do my 5 a day, I should end up with 1 recruit a week. So I started recruiting and building and recruiting, and it's amazing how this happens. Mr. Dazian, Tillis, Mr. Bailon's. Mr. Bailon's on? I didn't see him hop on earlier to chime in. It's amazing how once you get it, and I think Linda T and many others, Shauna, other executive directors, Ms. Kleins, once you start getting into the activity, what's that? They say something activity begets activity. Once you start getting in motion, things start to happen. So I started doing this prospecting consistently every day and doing these sit downs and starting to recruit people every week, that my business started to take off. All of a sudden I had a team in Washington State. All of a sudden I had a team in New York and New Jersey, Dwayne Smith, who ultimately became the leader of our organization on the East Coast, responsible for Mr. Dazzy and the rest of the organization that we have. And I had this amazing team in Texas now. I recruited this lady named Diane Klein. So, but I wasn't doing anything different except being consistent and persistent with my daily exposures, making sure I got my 5 a day, which is my 25 a week, which should yield at least 1 recruit a week for me. And all of a sudden I got people all over. So now I'm traveling to Washington State, actually Longview, Washington, which is right across the border from Portland. I had a great couple there, Harry and Mary Hackett. This new couple, I didn't even know, but I recruited someone who recruited them. And I had this guy named Raymond Frias in New York who recruited a guy that he met named Jeff Shipley, who recruited Dwayne, but Dwayne wasn't working. So I'm flying to New Jersey to meet and work with Dwayne. And then I had this lady named Diane Kleins who started Protect Families in Texas. And she didn't really know what she was doing, but I said, hey, Diane, I would love to come here and help you get started. She said, I got someone I want you to meet. And some of you have heard me tell that story. So she ended up recruiting this gentleman named Calvin Collins, who ended up going full-time his first day, and then become one of the biggest builders in Legal Shield, a $900,000 per year income earner. In fact, at least half of the 95,000 associates that we currently have on our team come from that one guy down. So obviously, I'll spend a lot of time going to Texas to help him and help her. But my point is once you get into this activity, guys, things begin to happen, and it's like magic. It's like the network marketing gods the world begins to conspire to do you good because you're engaged in the proper activity. Notice you got to be engaged in the proper activity if you want good things to start happening in your business. So let me get to the end of the story because I got a couple of things we want to go over tonight with you guys. So long story short, I got so busy working with my new team members, my new team that's starting to grow, that I let up on my personal activity. I got to work with Diane Clines. I got to work with Raymond and Dwayne, and I got to work with Harry and Mary. I can't keep, how am I going to do my 5 a day if I'm in an airport? How am I going to do my 5 a day if I'm doing a training for Dwayne, helping to recruit somebody in New Jersey? How am I going to do my 5 a day if I'm helping Diane and Calvin and Texas? I can't do my 5 a day. So I stopped doing my 5 a day. And so which means I wasn't doing my personal recruiting because I'm working with my team. Right? Long story short. So now fast forward January 1997. Now, our business was growing, right? It's all over the country now. We went from being in California to team all in many states across, not all, but many states across the country that we didn't have a team in before. Our income was going up, but our income had always gone up. $7,700 the first year, $15,000 second year, $30,000 the third year. So our income was going up. Back then we got paid 8 or 9 times a month because we got paid twice a week. So we would just take our checks that come in the mail, we put them in this basket on our kitchen table, and until they total at least $1,000 or more, we wouldn't even go to the bank. So we knew we were making more money, but we'd always been making more money. So we had no idea, is my point, of how much money we had earned in 1996 because we're just so busy building and working with our team until one day in mid-January, I go out to the mailbox to get the mail, and there's an envelope, a little window envelope with prepaid legal at the top, and in the envelope it said those words that are printed on the envelope. It says income tax document enclosed. So I knew what that meant because we'd got that before. That meant that was our 1099. It was going to tell us how much legal should have paid us. See, there was no website to go check what you earned yesterday. There was none of that stuff existed in 1996, y'all. That's why I'm trying. So all we had was these weekly printouts that we get with our checks every week, twice a week, which, I mean, they were huge. I mean, we had a big team starting. So I opened up this envelope. Well, I didn't open the envelope. So I had no idea. You know those movies where you see something and like your whole year flashes before your eyes, like a movie? That's what happened to me. So I was nervous. So I go in the house and I show the envelope to Carol, and I look at her face, and the same thing happened to her, this movie, because we both had no idea what was going to be inside this envelope. So I opened up the envelope, and the 1099 said our 1996 income was $98,600. So we go, wow. Same thing we said, wow, except it was not, our goal was to make $100,000. We were $1,400 shy of our goal. And so I'm just let that sit with you guys. And we're going to talk about a couple other things here with the rest of the leaders. But so you might say, well, you hit your goal. Well, no, we didn't hit our goal. Our goal was $100,000. And by the way, back then there was no ring program that should. There was no $100,000 ring in 1996. There were $100,000 per year income earners, $250,000 a year income earners, a handful of them, but there was no ring. Anyway, so I'll tell you the rest of that story another time, how we show up to the event and how we were told everyone that we knew, hey, we made $100,000, which we hadn't. We only made $98,600. And then we get to the event, and all of a sudden they're recognizing all the brand new $100,000 ringers. Guess who wasn't on the list? And we got that look from my wife again. Anyway, so with that, I'm gonna let Ms. Daz, you've heard me tell that story 100 times. So I'm gonna let any comments from you, sir, on goals.
I just love it. Yes, sir. I mean, it's crazy, you know, when you put the goal in place and you write it down and you know this is what you want to achieve, and you put together a game plan and you start working that plan with consistency, persistency, and with purpose, you know, how things become to come into fruition like out of nowhere. And it's not like, oh, well, you guys went from, you know, $30,000 to just under $100,000. You know, it's not like it just happened. It happened because you put the goal in place. It happened because, you know, you put a plan in place, and then you put the activity behind the plan, which took you guys to that point. Now, you know, obviously, you know, I'm listening. I'm like, man, you know, what could you have done better to make sure you got the $100,000 ring? Well, you know, you took your foot off the gas. You know, you stopped doing your 5 exposures a day, which means that you're probably 1 recruit short, or a few recruits short that would have, you know, put you over the hump.
It's not even the recruits, man. It's not even the recruits, Mr. Daddy. That's what's so painful about this example, y'all. Now, I'm going to tell you this story because it proves the point of how powerful goal setting can be. Because look, at the time, the compensation plan paid at our level $140.62 for a membership. Write that. If you can write that number down, or just remember this: $140.62 is what the commission was at the top level of the comp plan back then. And but the question is, Ms. Peden, so why didn't you hit your goal? Because I didn't recruit 50 people. In fact, the goal was to recruit 48. We said 50, but we knew we'd have to take time off for family and stuff like that. So our actual goal was to recruit 48 people, knowing that we we're going to have weeks for, Easter and Thanksgiving and Christmas, stuff like that. So we only ended up recruiting 38 people that year. I say we, Mrs. Peden lets everybody know I didn't only recruit 38 people that year because I didn't do my 48 that we said. So I was about 10 recruits shy of my goal. Now, I believe that if you put out to the universe that you have a goal and you have a plan, the universe is going to hold you accountable to it. Which the universe says, if you do your part, the universe says, I'll do my part by allowing you to achieve your goal. Problem is, I didn't do my part. In fact, if you do the math, guys, forget about the people I would have, if I had just sold the memberships, because I don't know out of those 10 people that I recruited, statistically, only 2 of them would actually done anything. So maybe I didn't need the 10, but if I just recruited those other 10 people, if I had just sold the memberships to those 10 people that I didn't recruit because I was busy or working with my team, traveling the country and all this stuff, how much is 10 times $140.62? That's $1,406. Now, I don't remember what the change was on our 1099. I could dig it out of my files, but we were exactly, we were $98,600 is what the 1099 said. And I'm afraid to look at it and see if we might have been like $98,794, and 38, then it would really be scary. But basically we were $1,400 shy. If I had just stuck out and completed my plan of recruiting those 10 people, just the memberships from those 10 recruits, even if the 2 people that were going to work didn't even go to work, we would have hit our goal just on me selling them those 10 additional memberships that I didn't sell. And we'd have hit the goal, which would have been recognized at the next convention as new 6-figure income earners. Like there's a whole bunch of them, and we weren't on the list, even though we told everybody, oh, we did it, which we didn't technically. So anyway,
Russell,
Cindy, go for it.
can I add something? So along with, setting your goals, and I was going for my $50,000 ring. I mean, when you do it for yourself, you set it and you write it and you make your plan. But what really inspired me is when I told my team, and they looked at me and they said, we're going to do this, because they were excited. You mentioned working with your team, obviously, but how excited your team gets for you when they know you're getting there. I mean, I wasn't like at $10,000 and had to go to 50, you're getting along there. I mean, that would have been a bigger stretch, which people do it all the time, right? Tills is a good example, but I wasn't one of those. Was a slow achiever or slow grower, I guess, but we had been growing. And I remember when they announced the certain bonuses and what was going on, and my team turned around to me and said, you can do this, we're going to do it. And I think that is the power of what we have here with Team Prosperity, is that we reach down and do that for our teams that are below us, who we lead, but our teams also reach up and help us. Absolutely. And I think that is the beauty of Team Prosperity Partners. We're here for each other. I know Shauna Blanc is our big cheerleader, and I thank her for everything she does, and everybody, and Tillis and Linda, and I can't name everybody that's lifted me up on this team, even though they don't financially get anything from, benefit from me at all. So that was just one thing I wanted to add. How great it is up and down the line. It just makes it's unbelievable.
And we'll talk about this in the coming weeks, guys. Stuff like that. One of the other keys. Many people say one of the keys. I saw Mr. Self made a post on Facebook today. I hearted it, and then I made a comment that he's such an inspiration that he was saying he was starting a new 12-month fitness journey, and if you guys know, he's already most people would say, "Hey, that guy's already a pillar of fitness," but he started another 12-month fitness journey. But he said, but he was putting it out to the world, Facebook and Instagram. He was doing it. He was putting it, say, hold me accountable to what I'm saying I'm going to do. It's something about sharing your goal with, you know, there's some people who believe you shouldn't share your goal with anyone. Others believe that you should share with people who you respect, because they'll hold you accountable. And I think your team, I agree with Cindy 100%, especially in this business, especially particularly with this team, as Cindy was saying, we are here to run with you. We're not going to do it for you, but we're going to do everything we can to help you achieve it. We're going to cheer you on and do everything we can to help you achieve that goal, if anything that's possible for us. Just to understand that share with someone, it could be a good thing. Many people believe it's vital to your success, because you don't want to, it's tough for you out there chopping tree by yourself, but realizing, hey, I got a team who can help me chop this tree down. That's the difference. And they're going to cheer you on and do everything they can, maybe sharpen the axe for you in between when you take breaks, to make sure that you have a better chance of chopping that tree down. So thanks for sharing, Cindy. That's what it's all about. We're going to talk about.
Hey, Mr. Peden, I got a couple things. Hey,
Hey,
in your story, I found it fascinating because there's a couple of nuggets that I hope everyone grasped that you shared. First, you made a plan and you didn't waver from that. You didn't even look in your back office to see what was happening. You were
there was
just
no back
working.
office.
There was no back office. So you were just working, right?
Right.
And so sometimes we get caught up in, it doesn't look like I'm going to achieve this goal because we're looking at it. But because you weren't looking at it, you were just working. The other thing that you said that I took away from it is that you didn't quite hit your goal. But you didn't say, oh, this doesn't work, so I quit.
Right.
You didn't say, I quit. I was 98,000, but my goal was 100,000, so I failed. And this business doesn't work. Right? And I'm going to share this on our 90-day call tonight, guys. Do you know that I went in the store today because I was shopping? I went in the store. I saw some things that I wanted to buy for my daughter. A lady, very nice lady, was helping me, but I changed my mind and I walked out.
Ooh.
Do you think she said, I quit this job, that sucks? No, she just went to the next customer. So I want you guys to hear this whole story. He was helping people. And at that time, he had to travel to all these locations to help all these people. And all we have to do is get some people on a Zoom, right? Or maybe you were at the Super Saturday with all we have to do is invite someone from California to the Zoom. Guys, he had to travel from California to Texas to Virginia to God knows where else. I'm sure Mr. Dadsy can identify with that, right? But he had a Super Saturday this weekend with Miss Melissa Wilder, and he had 58 people in the room. But how many of you guys actually had real estate in that room? I mean, I'm just saying. So these are the things that we have to really, really think about, guys. Think about, we are running a business. If Russell had quit back then because we all didn't, because he didn't achieve that goal, where would we all be today? So anyway, back over to you.
Thanks, Ellis. Good point. And I'm not sure, was it this call or the 90-day running call where I showed the story about the RV trip in Woody and Friend? I can't remember which call. I know I told it last week. Must have been.
It was our 90-day.
Okay, maybe I won't tell it today because we're out of time. But any of the leaders want to share any thoughts, guys? I just wanted to kind of sell you on how we became believers. When I say we, I mean Mrs. Pete and I, because we had heard the stories, we read the books and how powerful goals could be and all this stuff. But it wasn't until we actually put our goals in writing, created a plan, focused on that plan, and watched what happened. Then the 98,000 was great. We're excited. That was a ton of money, our best year ever. But we realized that we were $1,400 shy because we didn't complete our part of the plan, my part of the plan. I can't put any Mrs. Peden. Then that's when we realized, man, you got to be careful what you ask for in terms of goals and the plan that you create, because you might it's going to happen. So then the next year we set our goal, says we can't go since we didn't get recognized for the 100,000. We said, shoot, we got to go for the 250. And we set a plan, and it was, and I won't go to the details. We had a plan in 1997, to make $250,000 in 1997. Of course, we hit that plan. We put the plan in place. We hit the goal, and haven't really looked back since. But my point is, guys, we got sold on goals, and I'm telling you, that was my plan. It's just goals are powerful. I don't know, I gotta find it, but I heard someone says if you trace back the root word of goal, it goes back to prayer. Now I've been able to validate that. I'm just repeating something that I heard, but I think there's probably some truth to that. And again, I don't know where you are spiritually in your belief level, but I think that's something to it, guys. It's something about put it in writing, commit it to the universe. And there's a reason why every success book or just personal development book you've read, and they talk about this stuff, they said it's got to be writing. Think and Grow Rich, all-time bestseller. I don't know how many copies of that book. That book, it was written in 1937. You can buy a brand new copy of it today and have it delivered to your front door on Amazon, or go to a bookstore if you can find one nowadays and buy a brand new copy of the book that was written, I don't know how many years ago. What is that, 80 something years ago? And what does he say in that book? Have a definite purpose, means a goal, put it in writing, develop a plan. And that was one of the early books, and almost every other book since then has said the same thing. Have a goal and put it in writing and put a plan together. So I just want to sell you tonight on why you should do like we did. It was December 1995. Here you are, December 2021, where Mrs. Pete and I said, what is that, 26 years ago, that we were actually going to do that. I was like, all right, we're going to do this goal set, stuff like what he said. We're going to try it. And it worked. So I hope I inspired you tonight to say, you know what, I'm going to try this goal setting thing one more time. Or if it's your first time doing goals serious about it, then I'm going to try this goal setting thing and see if it works and watch what can happen. And we did it in every area of our life, but the one I was showing you guys now was our business goal. So I hope that I inspire somebody to say, you know what, let me try this goal setting thing. And you may reach out to me and say, Mr. Pete, I want that goals book by Brian Tracy. Where can I find that weekend seminar by Jim Rohn? And I'll help you if you're serious, and I'll help you find them. I may even send them to you. But I hope I inspired you. That was my goal tonight, is to sell you on why goals work. Any other leaders want to comment? Unmute your line, by the way, if you're talking leaders. All right, with that said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Mr. Dazzy, good to see you again, bro. Glad to have you back. And we're going to continue this goal setting stuff, or talk about not goal setting, especially talking about goals and the importance of goals for the next few weeks as we wrap up this year. I know, Mr. Dazzy, the one thing I haven't said yet about this time of year, I've said it every year for as long as we've been friends and been in business together, is that, guys, don't get caught up in this holiday season. This whole, nobody's going to want to spend any money on anything but people need money for Christmas right now. Nobody wants to. This isn't a good time to talk to you about the business. This is a good time to talk to you about the membership. That's a bunch of crap. If you buy that,
say it again.
No, it's a bunch of crap. Don't believe. Don't sell yourself about, wow, this time of year is not a good time. This is a great time to talk to you about Legal Shield, a great time to talk to you about our amazing business opportunity, our incredible membership they need, especially with all, there's so many credit card, I don't know, billions of dollars a second are being money's being transferred via credit cards. And you don't think people might need some identity theft protection just in case? And right now, people might be getting ripped off or taken advantage of as a result of all this holiday shopping. You don't think they need someone they can call? People are out late shopping, and you don't think they might get pulled over, questioned, detained? They need our service. And don't buy this lie that people don't want to spend any money on anything right now. Yes, they do. People are spending trillions of dollars on stuff right now.
Hey, Russell.
Go ahead, Cindy.
I think what happened yesterday with the tornadoes, that alone to bring up to people, we don't know. Don't I wish I knew somebody there that I knew that could use Legal Shield? All those people that lost so much, lost loved ones. Maybe they didn't lose everything, but stuff got damaged. It is all legal. They're dealing with insurance companies. They're dealing with death benefits. They don't know who to call, what to do. It gives me chills, right? So don't think that nobody needs us just because it's the holidays. See, life happens every day. And if that doesn't teach us to go out and cover, don't we wish we, had known people in Kentucky, or that we knew somebody that we covered in those towns, because we would be so thankful that we opened our mouths.
Well, I mean, look, I remember from the roll call, Belinda Gaines is in Kentucky, Octavia Thomas. I'm pointing you guys out because you're in Kentucky, but how would you feel knowing that one of the families that was devastated by the hurricane yesterday, you had sold a membership and now they have someone they can call, or they took the time and put their will in place. I mean, how would you feel knowing that you had something to do with that? Because we don't, as Cindy said, we don't know. Right? Those families didn't know that it was 4 states yesterday. My daughters, they texted us yesterday. They said there was a hurricane that came through, and it didn't really affect Nashville much, where Lex and Bella were, but the other statesmen were devastated. Mike Little, Legal Shield Ringer and Millionaire Club member, he showed a picture on Facebook of what happened in his little town. I mean, people were devastated. But how would you feel knowing that you stepped out of your comfort zone, if that's you, or if you just, you were doing what you did, and as a result, someone that you protected was impacted by the hurricane, and they call you up and say, I'm so glad about the membership. I was able to call a law firm, and they were helping to talk to my insurance company and work this whole thing out while we deal with everything else that we got going with my family. How would you feel if someone called you to thank you because you helped them? But you didn't know there's going to be a hurricane that was going to affect your family, but you just knew that I was out there making my exposures, following up and following through. And as a result, I sold some memberships, protected some families, protected small business. And as a result, they now have the peace of mind and protection and security that they need for themselves, their family, and their business. So that's what it's all about, y'all. So my point is, don't buy the lie. It's easy to sit back for the next few weeks and go, I'm going to focus on my family and Christmas and Hanukkah, whatever, and just do life and take the foot off the gas of my business. I guarantee Legal Shield corporate office ain't going to do that. In fact, Mr. Daz and I can bet, right, Mr. Daz, there's going to be some holiday cash incentives coming out in the next week or two to give you a little bit more incentive to make sure that you stay active and you keep your light on, those on closed and open lights, keep your business on, keep your eyes and ears open while you're out and about shopping or talking to people. Because people need what we have to offer, not just our protection, but our opportunity. How are they going to pay for all this crap they buy in the next few weeks? They're going to need some extra money to pay for those credit cards off in January, in February, or March, however long it takes them to pay off their credit cards. And we have the answer for that. We can protect and empower them. We can also show them a way to make 2022 their best year ever by adding another $70,000 to their income part-time, like Tillis Alizé did last year, or another $50,000, or even an extra $2,000 a month, which would change people's lives completely. An extra $2,000 a month. They can do that in Legal Shield. We have people on this call who are doing that. And you have the opportunity, in my opinion, you have the obligation to share this with everyone that you come in contact with, people that you know especially. So at least introduce it to them. Let them say no. At least you did your part. You can't, as Art Williams said last week, you can't buy it for them. You can't make them do it. You can't make them sign up, but you can introduce it to them and then follow with them to find out what they like best. So anyway, guys, don't buy the hype, the crap about this holiday season. Stay focused on your business. Get into your activity of how many people a day you're committed to. Make your exposures and follow up and follow through. And I guarantee you'll have a great month and you'll finish out this year better than you thought you did. And we look forward to helping you make next year your best year ever. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you next Sunday's call. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks everyone for sharing. Appreciate you guys. Love everybody. See you later.